Have you ever felt deeply attached to someone even when the relationship kept on hurting you? You know the connection is intense. You think about them constantly, and walking away from them feels impossible. But somewhere inside, you also feel drained, you also feel confused, and you also feel emotionally totally exhausted. So the question now becomes, is this love? Or is there something else that looks like love? Today we are talking about one of the most important emotional awareness topics, the difference between trauma bonds and true love. Because understanding this difference can actually completely transform the relationships you choose for yourself and the life you eventually build based on those relationships of yours. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Flight to Fulfillment podcast. I'm your host, Ratika Seth, your life enhancement coach and the founder of the Freedom Divas Hub. And today's conversation is very important because many women believe they're experiencing deep love when the reality is that they are trapped in something much more complicated, a trauma bond. A trauma bond usually feels very intense and it feels very magnetic and very addictive at the same time, but intensity is not the same as love. So, today's episode, we will explore how to recognize the difference between both trauma bond and true love. Number one, understand what trauma bonding really is. A trauma bond forms when emotional pain, all the emotional pain that you're going through and the emotional reward, they become entangled with each other, deeply intertwined. The relationship often follows a confusing pattern. You have affection, then you have conflict, then you have an emotional distance, then you have reconciliation, then you have affection again. So it starts with affection, and then you fight in between, and then you kind of say, okay, I'm like, we are not together anymore. And you create this emotional distance, and then one of you reconcile with each other, and then again it's affection, and after some time it's going to be conflict again. Now this cycle creates emotional dependency. Your nervous system starts associating the temporary breakup or the temporary relief after the conflict with love as something which is normal. So instead of feeling safe and peaceful, the relationship feels like an emotional roller coaster. And ironically, the more unpredictable the relationship becomes, the stronger the attachment can feel. So, this is why trauma bonds are often mistaken for passionate love. But true love does not keep you emotionally destabilized. In fact, it gives you all the space in the world so that you feel emotional, safe, and stable. Number two, notice how the relationship makes you feel about yourself. So, one of the clearest ways to distinguish trauma bonding from true love is this very important question: who are you becoming inside this relationship? Are you yourself? Because in trauma bonds, people often feel emotionally very anxious. They constantly keep overthinking. They are very afraid of losing the other person. They feel responsible for keeping the relationship going. And they become unsure of their own worth. They don't have the trust whether the actions they are taking are right or wrong. True love feels very, very different because true love will bring you all the emotional safety, it will make you calm, it will make you feel respected and give respect to the other person, it will give you all the space you want, to be yourself, and it will give you consistent care instead of unpredictable affection. So, true love does not require you to constantly prove yourself, prove your value, prove your love to the other person for that matter. It simply allows you to be valued and it allows you to be yourself. Number three, pay attention to consistency versus emotional chaos. So, trauma bonds thrive on inconsistency. One day the connection is like really magical and intense. The next day, suddenly you're feeling distant or cold or unwanted. This unpredictability keeps your brain hooked because you're constantly trying to regain the good moments. You want to go back to the good moments. So, real love is not built on these emotional, upswings and downswings, highs and lows. True love is very, very stable. It may not always feel very dramatic. You don't have to, go on saying I love you to somebody or behave in a certain manner. But true love will always feel very reliable, very respectful, very steady, and you will feel very, very emotionally safe. True love will never confuse you. It will always, on the other hand, support you. Fourthly, ask yourself this very powerful question that can really bring you incredible clarity. Do I feel more peaceful with this person, or do I feel more scared and anxious with this person? Your body often knows the truth before you or your mind accepts it. So if the relationship is constantly triggering a fear inside you, an insecurity inside you, or it's just draining you, there's a good chance that you're experiencing attachment, not love. You're experiencing, being with somebody out of a routine. This is not true love. True love feels like coming home to yourself. Trauma bonds feel like losing yourself while trying to hold on to somebody else. True love does not feel like that. True love just it's just like homecoming, that warmth, that space where two people can be together, not say a word, but still have that comfort that they are together and they just know it. Number 5, heal the pattern. If you've experienced a trauma bond, please know that it does not mean that you are weak. It means that you are someone who knows how to love very, very deeply, feel very deeply, and you believe in connection. But healing begins when you choose self respect over this emotional addiction of yours. Because the healthiest love, the healthiest love you will ever experience begins with one simple shift where you stop chasing intensity and you start choosing alignment with yourself. So, well, if today's episode resonated with you, like, comment, share it with somebody who needs to hear this and understand this. And don't forget to subscribe to the Flight to Fulfillment podcast on either YouTube or Substack or Spotify or Apple, wherever you're more comfortable, so that you don't miss out on a single dose of inspiration coming your way. Until next time, this is me, Ratika Seth, your life enhancement coach, signing off for now, but inviting you to be a part of my beautiful community, the Freedom Divas Hub, where women support each other in creating lives of freedom, self-respect, and conscious living. Until next time, stay aware, stay aligned, and most importantly, stay true to yourself. Be you. Love you. Bye-bye.